Now that we have registered for our dealer admin account, and we have also registered our first NP36 or your network patroller, we can navigate to the mybakpak.com website and add our patroller to our mybakpak.com login. So first off, log in with the email address that you use for your dealer admin account, as well as the password. Once you log in, you're going to click on the profiles icon. You'll notice right here on the far left hand side, it'll say there are currently no profiles. So you're going to click on the addition or the plus icon on the far right hand side where it says add new. Now you can click on the drop down box for your package patroller. So far we've only registered one, so I'm going to select the patroller. You can name your patroller as you will, or the profile name as you will, based on the client job site, the installation location. Maybe it's going to be your company has specific ways they'd like to name the profiles so they can better identify them. It is based off your preference, off of your choice. And when you're putting your street information in or your address information, you want to be sure that you enter in the number, the street, the zip code, and the state correctly. It's going to be needed for your dusk and dawn times. So when you're creating your power schedules and you want to be able to get your weather as well as your ISP information, this information for your street address needs to be accurate. Now, when you're setting up your VLAN information, this information is going to be based off the network setup that you currently have or your topology. So if you have your internal network still at a 192.168.1, then what you're going to do for your VLAN IP address section, you're going to put 192.168.1.0. Your net mask, in most if not all cases, is usually going to be 255.255.255.0 or whatever subnet mask you have. And then you select you're entering your VLAN ID. If you're going to have multiple VLANs and VLAN 2, say, is going to be 192.168.7.0, then you're going to enter this as 192.168.7.0. And then your subnet mask would apply the same way. And then you can put whatever VLAN number that is. But in this case, I still have mine as 2, so I'm going to put 2. And then you can continue to do the same thing for the remainder of your VLANs. So what this does is this basically is telling the patroller that you're going to be scanning the network for any devices that are set up with these IP schemas. So if you have devices on a 192.168.1.2, .3, .5, and in this case I'm also going to do .6, then you want to make sure that the NP36 is able to actually scan for those subnets. So that's why we are setting these up this way, because that's what it's going to be detecting. Then once you're done setting up your VLAN information, you just select the OK button. And now you have your first NP36 network patroller profile set up on your mybakpak.com login. Once you have this set up, the last thing you want to do is click on your profile, and now you want to do a scan. You'll see it says to click the spyglass to scan for devices. That is going to be the middle icon on the right hand side. Once you click on that, now, the amount of time that it's going to take for the device discovery to scan for all the devices on the network, it's going to depend on the number of devices that are actually set up on the network. So if there's not that many, it'll go by much quicker. If there are a lot more devices, then it may take a little bit longer. And then you'll notice once it's done scanning for the devices on the network, it does actually separate them based on their groups. So you'll see you have routers. If you click on router, you see 2 routers. If you click on switch, you see 1 switch. Access points, there's 2 access points. And on the far right hand side, you can actually see if these are third-party devices set up under other or actual package devices. So you'll see them in the blue on the far right. And you have your PDUs, your controller, and then this is where you have your others. You'll notice there's 2 in the gray box on the right, and you have a Middle Atlantic product and a Panamax. So it does detect third-party devices as well. Then you can select all of these just by clicking on this checkbox, And if there are devices that you do not want to select, you can just click on those so that they are not actually going to be added to the profile. But in this case, I'm going to add all of them. So now that it finished the device discovery, you'll notice that you have all of your devices added to your new MP36 profile that we had just added on to your My BakPak login. And it still has each of these grouped based on the type of device that it is. Thank you for joining us today with setting up your new MP36 profile on your My BakPak login and discovering its devices on the network.